Hello YouTube, my name is Billy and welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight I'm really excited because this is day 4 of my vegan journey and so far I feel great. I'm also really excited because this is going to be the first time I've ever tried tofu. Um, I'm not a very picky eater, so when it comes to food, I have a very open mind and I'm willing to try anything once. So this is what I'm going to do and I will show you as we go. Um, for starters, I've got one package of extra firm tofu. Put you down here so you can see me. All right, I'm going to open that. And be careful when you open this because there's a pretty good amount of liquid. Hang on. I'm just going to gently pierce it with a little knife. And as you can see, there's quite a... I'm going to drain some of that real quick. Okay, so there's quite a bit of moisture in the packaging, so just open it up. Okay. Once you have your tofu open, you want to be very careful because it's very, it's spongy, but it'll fall apart really easy if you're not careful. You're gonna rinse that pretty good. We're gonna come back over here, and I have some paper towel, and we're just gonna lay that on the paper towel. And you want to pat it pretty good. Okay, once you have it dry, you're going to lay it out on a cutting board. You're going to take a knife. You're going to cut it in half, lengthwise. Okay, very simple. And you're going to do about 1/4 inch little squares. Okay, and that's a good amount. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 18 pieces. That's good. That's probably enough to feed 2, 3, maybe even 4 people. Okay. Now before I go any further, I guess I need to tell you what I'm making with the tofu because I totally forgot. I'm going to be making a spicy Korean braised tofu. I love Asian food of any kind, and so I'm really excited about this. The tofu is new, but the Asian flavors are not new to me. I love eating Asian food, and I'm pretty decent at cooking it as well. So let's get started. We're going to go over here to the stove. You're going to need a very large skillet. One that has plenty of room. Non-stick works best. And you're gonna put any kind of vegetable oil. And I'm just gonna you just want enough to coat the entire bottom of the pan. Okay, you just need enough to coat the bottom of the pan. We're gonna turn that to medium. And we're gonna take our little tofu squares and put them in the oil. You do not have to wait until the oil gets hot. You want to be very delicate with the tofu because, as I'm finding out, it's very, it'll fall apart on you real quick and easy. If you've never had tofu before, it's really cheap. And it comes in different textures. You can get it in soft, medium firm, extra firm, and super firm. This is the extra firm. Let me rinse my hands. Okay, and we're going to, and you're just going to fry that 7 to 8 minutes on each side until it's golden and crunchy on each side. I'm gonna serve. I'm gonna put the spicy tofu over some rice, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. I'm just gonna use minute rice. The best way to ensure that you have really good, thoroughly cooked rice all the way through is make sure you have a really good pot that has a good fitting lid. And then with minute rice, it's just equal parts liquid to rice. And I'm just gonna use water and the rice. And I'm gonna do about half a cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring half a cup of water. We're gonna put that in the saucepan. We're gonna put that on the stove and bring that to a boil. And I'm gonna dry my measuring cup so I can measure my rice out, and I'm just gonna put that in a bowl. Okay. Yeah, I'll use it. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. And now I'm going to show you how we're going to make our sauce that we're going to braise the tofu in once we have it fried. Put you down here so you can see my cutting board. Okay, you're gonna want a bowl. Okay, you're gonna want 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Now, I've chosen to go with low sodium soy sauce, but that's completely up to you. Okay, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. You're gonna want 1 teaspoon of salt. Two teaspoons of sugar. You're gonna want 1 tablespoon of hot pepper flakes. Now, if you do not like really spicy food, you could easily substitute that with like some, paprika or something like that that will give you a smoky, peppery flavor without so much heat. But I do like hot and spicy food, so I am gonna stick to the original recipe. One tablespoon of the red pepper flakes. Now you could use this as the whole little crushed seeds or the powder. I'm gonna go with the seeds because I really like the seeds. Okay, our water is boiling for the rice, so I'm gonna dump the 1/2 cup of water into the rice, turn the burner off, put the lid on, and remove from the heat. Okay, back to the sauce. Okay, so we added 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of hot pepper flakes. Now from there, you're gonna take 1/2 a cup of water, pour that in the bowl. Put you back down here so you can see. 1/2 cup of water in the bowl. Okay, we're gonna set this aside for just a minute. Okay, you're gonna want 1/2 cup of onion, and I've gone with the red sweet onion. You could use whatever you like. I'm just gonna snip off the ends. Get rid of that outer layer. And it's just that simple. All right, now we're just gonna mince this up. Now, I tend to leave my vegetables, especially my onions and my garlic, a little more chunky. I just think it makes the dish look a lot prettier. I love. Okay, we're gonna set this aside. Okay, we're gonna do some green onions. Just the little green onions. Okay, we're gonna snip the ends off. And then we're just gonna chop that up. And then you want just a little bit of the end pieces, which will make for a nice little garnish. Okay, we're gonna set, those are gonna go with the onion, and this we'll use for garnish. All right, you want, I would probably normally use one large garlic clove, but these are pretty small, so I'm gonna use 2. And if you notice, I snip the end. And then the outer wrapper just comes right off. Again, snip the end. And the wrapper just comes off. So easy. Okay, we're gonna mince the garlic up. It's gonna be about a teaspoon total. Okay, and I'm just gonna shove the garlic right over there with my little pile of onions. And I'm gonna do some ginger, fresh ginger, and I'm gonna snip off just enough to where I think it's gonna make about a teaspoon. And I'm just going to cut a little, I find it's just a lot easier just to cut off this outer skin, because we don't want that. And again, you just want about a teaspoon. Okay, and I'm just gonna mince that out. I think I'm gonna really like this dish. Look at all these bright colors. The yellow from the ginger, the green, and the white from the garlic and the onions. And then you're gonna have the bright red from the sauce. It's gonna be amazing. Okay. I like the smells anyway. Okay. We're gonna just put that over there with the rest. And then I'm just gonna do about just a small little handful of some baby portobello mushrooms and give those just a rough chop. And that's good. We're gonna leave that the way it is. We're gonna come back over here to our tofu. And you just want to check it. You probably want to use a fork. You have to be very gentle and delicate with this. because it will fall apart on you. Okay, that's not ready yet. So you want a golden brown crunch on both sides. I'm gonna make sure that nothing is sticking. That would be bad. Okay, so that's not done, but it's going. That's what we want. All right. All right, let me finish the tofu and then we'll get back with our sauce and braising. Okay, once your tofu is golden brown and crunchy on all sides, you're gonna take it up and just lay it on a paper towel to drain off some of the extra oil. And be careful because the grease is popping. A lot. If you can't tell because I'm flinching. Stop. Okay, once you have all of your tofu up, you're going to drain some of the oil off of your skillet. But you want to leave about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil in the pan. Turn that back on. Okay, now we're going to take and I've put our onions and garlic and ginger in just a small bowl. And we're just going to toss those in the skillet. And you're just going to cook these until they're caramelized, golden, and crunchy. You just stop. Okay, once your garlic and onions and ginger is all sauteed and golden brown, you're going to take your sauce, which I've added the mushrooms to, and you're just going to pour that in the skillet. Careful, it's going to splatter, and that's why I have my apron on, so I don't ruin my clothes. Going to toss that around. All right, and now you want to very carefully add in your tofu back to the skillet. These are still quite hot, so be careful. The tofu is very bland, so that's why we're braising it, because we fried it, but there's absolutely no flavor to it at all. So that's why we're gonna cook it in the sauce. All right, so now you're gonna toss everything around and let everything get coated. And you're gonna let everything simmer until the sauce reduces by half. So make sure all of your tofu is down inside the sauce so it can really absorb as much of the flavor as possible. This is going to be a savory and very spicy dish. But you could change the spiciness if you wanted to. Instead of the red pepper flakes or the crushed, well, I use the crushed pepper flakes, but if you don't want so much of the heat, but you want the red color and a smoky pepper flavor, you could do a tablespoon of like smoked paprika or any other ground pepper, just to give you the color and, you know, the flavor of pepper without so much heat. All right, let me reduce this and I'll come back to you. Okay, once your sauce is reduced by half or mostly absorbed into your tofu, you're going to take your rice on a plate. You can tell I've sampled some of the tofu or the mixture with the rice. That's why you see those bits in there. Okay. And then you're just going to take your tofu and serve it over rice. You can stop.